Now, why is it that going back to grassroots efforts for your first skinny launch, having your first cohort of 20, 30 students, meaning reaching out one-on-one to those you believe are a good fit and being willing to do things that don't scale is not moving backwards? I had a student bring this up last week, and she was getting ready to launch her first online program, and she really wanted to work with 20 students inside this program. Now, she's been teaching for a long time, and now she's translating what she's been doing in the offline world into her online. Now, she asked me if it was going backwards for her, if she started to reach out to people, because she hasn't really been focused on building this large email list. So in our work together, she started to translate people over into her email list, and she started to prepare her email list for this launch. But up until now, she really hasn't been thinking about building this online community, this online following, and focus on growing her email list. It's all been happening organically. So my feedback to her was to make a list of people that she knew, whether they're past students, past clients, who'd be a really good fit for this online offer. And here's the thing, people who've worked with you before, even if they worked with you in all kinds of live environments, are amazing fits for online content. Why? Because they get access to curriculum. They generally will get access to the content, if not lifetime, for years. They get to go back and revisit the work that they didn't get to save, as an example, in the live environments time and time again. And so people that you know and people that you work with are amazing fits for your online program launch, especially when you're just starting to build up your email list and build up your following. So don't be afraid to make a list of people and do things that don't scale, and use grassroots efforts of one-on-one outreach for your first skinny launch. And guess what? If you have a group of 20 students inside your cohort, 30 students for your first launch, what would that mean? It's beyond the 20 students that you're working with right now. What it really means is it's a start of a bigger possibility. And I have so many examples of clients who started out with skinny launching with 30 students, who now have hundreds or thousands of students, depending on a higher price point program or more self-study offers inside their communities. And it never would have been the case if they hadn't started with their first skinny launch. So here's the message. One, don't be afraid to use grassroots efforts, including one-on-one reach outs in the beginning when you're skinny launching. Two, your first cohort of students for a brand new offer is really just the beginning of something so much bigger. You're now in the game, you're teaching, and it's now live. Third, grassroots efforts does not mean you're moving backwards if you are campaigning with intent and campaigning with purpose. And what do I mean by that? It means that you have a campaign behind your launch, behind your efforts, because you're launching. It's not one-on-one reach outs, you're not saving their emails, you're not nurturing them, it's not that you're not thinking about warming them up and using technology to create this personalization and intimacy at scale. Does that make sense? If you back up your one-on-one efforts and outreach in the beginning with a campaign behind it, and you can create campaigns that feel good to you and to your audience, no matter how sensitive they are, then you are doing things that don't scale so that you can eventually scale. So if you find this helpful, post in the questions and the comments below, and I'll see you in the next video.